Hello everyone, welcome to Tannic Grips.
To be clear, that's Dampfwerk, and yes, welcome to Tannic Grips.
Today we are showcasing an amazing distillery out of St. Louis Park, Minnesota. Drink local, everyone, called Dampfwerk.
Yeah, super fun. Opened in 2017. It's like a German style, like liquor and liqueur producer. I don't know. They are very like cool and Bavarian in their old school techniques.
It's pretty incredible. Ralph, the first time I met Ralph, it's a family-owned business, and him and his son do the distilling, and then Bridget and his daughter and his wife Mary, they do a lot of the marketing. Mm-hmm. They had the tap room that Britt and I have both been to, and deal with a lot of the HR stuff. Anyway, family-run business. The first time I met Ralph was at our old location at Henry & Son, so quite some time ago. And he showed up with these fruit brandies, and I was like, who needs local fruit brandies? Yeah. And they were so stunning that I was in their distillery a week later being like, how do you make this stuff? Mostly local fruit, incredible. And it was because Ralph was like, hey, I'm a German, I'm from Bavaria, and I miss spirits that taste like my homeland, but obviously very uniquely Midwestern too.
And like fruit brandies and like eau de vie, like they're so commonplace kind of across like Eastern and Central Europe especially. And they just have such a cool and special, they're so special, like because people will drink them. Like I was reading this interview with Ralph, and it was just like the whole, there's always time for a schnapp was kind of what he said. And it was just like this fun because it's so true. And it just like, they really bring it back to like kind of this old school Bavarian way of drinking. And it's, today we're going to feature, like they have an incredible line of spirits, many of which we carry here in the shop and you can find on our website.
Gin, aquavit.
Yes, barrel-aged gin, and like
their pear brandy, their apple brandy.
All their brandies, can't recommend them enough. But they do also have this line of amazing specific herbal liqueurs, and that's what we're going to feature today because they also got this new one, and we're going to jump right in.
Meat peppermints
cubed, exactly.
And when I tried this with Bridget in her tap room, when it first came out a couple of months ago, I was like, she's like, this is our peppermint, kind of our version of schnapps. And I was like, why? And I tasted it and I was like, oh, that's why. Because I want that after a ski. I want that after a long meal. I want that before a meal to open my appetite. Woo, minty, let's go. So peppermint's cubed. It's called cubed because of the three different ways that they get the essences into the bottle. So they have the maceration, of course, they have the distillation, and then they have what's called a compound process at the end. And so that's where when you see the cubed, that's why. What do you think, Britt?
So the main botanicals in this are hyssop, which is part of the mint family. To me, a hyssop almost has like always kind of like a dusty like milk chocolate cocoa note over the mint, which I definitely get in this. Peppermint, of course, and then yarrow flower, which I'm not super familiar with, and then blessed thistle.
Blessed thistle.
So it's holy.
It's holy. I mean,
actually, and hyssop's really holy. Like it's used in a lot of medicine. So those are all. So this is like a health drink. No, I mean, there's no FDA approval on that, but
it's Britt and I's health drink, maybe especially at this time of year.
Honestly, it's awesome. Stick it in snow. We put this one in the freezer, and because it's definitely got like it gets really viscous and almost like syrupy in a good way, and like texturally, it's super pleasant. Definitely really cooling and beautiful. It's like such an elegant peppermint schnapp. Like to simply put it, that's what it is.
And it's got just the right amount of. Usually, when you have peppermint schnapps, it's either like really sweet or it's really fake minty and gross. This is like perfectly balanced, beautiful, just the right amount of sugar. Yarrow is one of the main preps and biodynamic preps, and it's there's a lot of different curative properties to yarrow that I won't go into here, but it's got a bitterness that really keeps the palate in balance, which is beautiful. Definitely, and they have really cool links on their website for cocktails, so imagine this like in a hot cocoa. Imagine this blended with, kill me for saying this, some like vanilla and or mint chip ice cream to make like an adult smoothie kind of
or
malty thing. What are they called? A shake when it doesn't have malt powder. That's adult shake.
I don't know. It's super fun.
Cheers to some like awesome schnappy things.
Yeah, so good. Oh my god.
All right, what's next?
It's really refreshing.
All right.
I love peppermint. All right, moving on. We've got the Helgolander. Helgolander?
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
Yeah, all right.
ER, just a quick little pause. Or actually, I'm just interrupting Britt, sorry. ER is the version of apostrophe S in English. Helgoland, that is a island in the northern part of Germany, southwest of Denmark, just to orient you where that is from. And it is a German-style herbal liqueur. Sorry, I totally just interrupted.
You're good. I'm good. I'm living. Oh my gosh. So moving into these, I would say that these can go into more like, if you're looking to mix them with cocktails, they're excellent on their own. I would say like any of your brown spirit-based things, but also play around with their aquavit. It's got a little age on it, and it would be, and again, all the caraway spice that isn't just automatically in an aquavit is really lovely, and it will match with these spices in a really fun, playful way. So this has got, it's almost got like a little like dandelion root kind of to it.
I'm getting over the peppermint here. Sorry, keep going.
It's got this like super fun woodsy note and like dandelion. If you ever have dandelion tea, it almost has like this like cocoa nib husk to it. I'm just kind of like throwing out flavors right now, but it's like
dandelion tea. I think what something else reminded us of dandelion tea in the last Tannic Grips. Yes,
I drink a lot of tea, like herbal, and so I think it's always fun to like pair that with like thinking about tea and wine whenever you're like lacking. Hot take. If you're ever like feeling at a loss for like flavors, sometimes I think about what flavors I taste in tea. Just like getting wrapped up in wine flavors can kind of be really isolating, and I think sometimes just tasting another beverage, you're like, what does this taste like? Especially because it can have tannin and it can have acid.
It totally can. It smells a little bit like yellow chartreuse.
Oh,
but like but way milder, like not as intense and definitely not as sweet.
It's got this fun, again, this is going to have a little bit more of a bitter note to it, so you can use it in like I think this would be cool with chinar, an artichoke liqueur from Italy, or a little bit of like kind of like a Chinar Negroni would be really good.
That would
like
be
a really
beautiful.
rustic, with a rustic sweet vermouth, or just
They recommend a vermouth and sherry cocktail. Yeah, that has like a little salt and lemon or something. That sounds so delicious as well. But what I love about their spirits is, yes, when you're in their tap room, obviously all of their concoctions are made with their spirits, and you could easily do something like that, right, where you're using their cocktails their spirits in a cocktail. But all of them, bar none, I think they're the best local distillery, and I want to drink all of them straight. Like I could sip on their gin, I could sip on their aquavit, I could sip on their pear brandies. And that's, I think, really a testament to A, it's winter and I'm cold. B, they're great. I mean, and above all, they're just great quality, like hands down.
I think the hallmark of a really great distiller is when they're, and this isn't exclusive, but I think a really great hallmark of a great distiller is when their product can be drunk really easily on their own and they're really enjoyable, but they also, or they can stand up in a really simple cocktail where they're still going to be, they're really allowed to shine. But they can also be integrated well. And I think that all of like their products are so fun if you want to play around with them or enjoy them as they are. So moving into the last one, Rabbit in the Rye, which is based off the Thuringia, or Thuringia, I don't know the name. Which is again like
nothing like chugging a quarter of an ounce of spirits here on Tannic Grips.
It's of the place of like Thuringia. It's a region in Germany as well.
Thuringia, I think you said it right. Thuringia.
Yeah, Thuringia. So
it's southwest of Leipzig, by the way, right smack dab in the middle. Just for those of you who drink beer and gozes, y'all know where Leipzig is.
It's blended with a little bit of their rye whiskey. So this would be an excellent addition to a Manhattan, in my opinion, or perhaps a really unique Sazerac, or
it smells like pears a little bit, even though it's a whiskey. It's got this like pear, like really fresh pear puree to the nose. It's not just like bourbon, like whiskey, sweet, vanilla. It's like, that's, I think, a very low part of spice. Yeah, it's very low part of that profile.
Yeah, this is like when I hand sold a few of these in the shop. We've had this one specifically for a while, and everybody I've sold it to has been really excited. And I got one for my godfather, so I had the opportunity to try it. And I'm like, this is amazing. Like, it's so fun and unique. It's perfect for tiny little tippling glasses. And like Audrey Rose Vintage, shout out.
I think we need to have Tannic Grips branded little tippling glasses, TG on it. I don't know,
Just have a little sipple.
we're just thinking of the future, infused with beautiful spirits. Well, and this has a little citrus, a little cinnamon added to it as well.
This is like that orange peel. This is also like, if you wanted to get something to like the old-fashioned drinker in your family that thinks that they can't make an old-fashioned, so you basically just can have them pour this out. Even though I know you can make an old-fashioned, it's good. It's just like,
true, like old-fashioned in a bottle.
Yeah. It's that's maybe oversimplifying it because it has a lot more layers to it, but I mean, old-fashioned too. That's another time about cocktails. Like, I won't wax poetic. We'll run out of wax.
I will say that I'm not a huge whiskey drinker. I like to taste whiskey, but I don't like to drink whiskey. And I 300% love that. Like, it's really well balanced. You do get that American rye whiskey flavor, but it's not, it's just really well balanced. It's not nothing is too forward. And that's all I got to say. These are some of my favorite spirits in the country, and we can't wait for you to taste them.
Yes, please. They're so good. And they're really great of the season ones right now. You know, I know seasonal drinking, but like they're really great warming and cooling. So cheers. We hope to see you soon, and
be safe, everyone.
Triple glasses.